Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Ellie, and today I will be talking about a couple of my pet peeves. This is by no means a comprehensive list, it's just something small I put together because one of these was really annoying me today, so yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about is laundry. So back in my apartment in Berkeley, we share within like kind of 4 units, I guess. So there's my unit, there's an upstairs, and then there's two more a wall away from us. We all share one dryer and a washer. And so what really gets me is when someone leaves their stuff in the dryer for longer than the time that they're supposed to dry their clothes. Like, I get it if someone is like out, they forgot about it for like maybe 10-20 minutes, they wanted to just leave it there for a bit in case it took longer than the time on the machine says, and like our dryer doesn't really have a timer on top, so like I get that. But there was one time I really needed to wash my clothes. I was about to come back to visit or something, and so I wanted to get everything done, so I didn't really have that much time to wait. I went in to start my laundry and the dryer was full with clothes that weren't even hot anymore. It was just cold. It wasn't even lukewarm. It was straight up cold. And then I checked the washing machine and there were also clothes there. They might be two different people. Just a note here, it was likely the same person because I distinctly remember when I opened the dryer, there were a lot of like fuzzy blankety things, like, you know, that like sweater material but then more fuzzy. And when I opened the washer, there was also some of that material there. All of it was very bright and colorful. But yeah, back to the video. But like obviously the person who was doing their laundry just did not have their shit together. I was like, okay, I'll just wait it out, you know, because the person who has stuff in the washer still needs to put it in the dryer too after whoever has it in the dryer takes it out. I waited and waited, and what happened? My memory sucks, I'm sorry. TLDR, laundry. Oh, that's what it was. Okay. Hey, it's me editing again, and during my confusion, I went through several variations of the story because I couldn't remember which was correct, and I'll be just adding little modifications here for what I am now pretty sure is the actual correct memory. So please bear with me. I was going to wait for the person who had the laundry in their dryer to take it out and like put the washer stuff into the dryer and start their drying. And so I was waiting for them to do that process. I set a timer for 15 minutes and went back and did my thing, did a little bit of homework. The timer rang, and when I went back to check, that shit was still there. And I was like, okay, 15 minutes might be an acceptable amount of time to be late. You know, I'll wait another 15 minutes. And so I go back and wait, and I come back, and lo and behold, the wet laundry is still inside the washer. And the dry laundry, the cold dry laundry, is still in the dryer. And I was like, I really don't want to do this to the person. Like, you know how when some people take out all of the clothes and just piles it on top because there's no laundry basket or anything else, but they need to get their laundry done? I really didn't want to do that to them because this was in the washer. Like, that's really especially gross. Putting all your wet clothes on top, like, felt a little iffy. But 2 more 15-minute intervals later, I was like, this bitch is over an hour late. I don't know how long it's been sitting there before I came in. And so I was like, I hate to be that person, but I'm gonna move this shit. So I ended up taking out the dry clothes and putting them on top of the dryer, and also taking the wet clothes and putting them on top of the washer. It was a process. I didn't like touching other people's stuff. I don't think they probably liked a stranger touching their stuff either, but I needed to do laundry. Yeah, I sent some snaps that day for validation because I felt really bad about doing it, even though they were the ones who were over an hour late. Like, you shouldn't leave your laundry in a communal laundry machine for over an hour unless there's an emergency or something. I started washing my clothes, yada yada, it was all good, everything was fine. And then I went to move the stuff to the dryer. I put another load in the washer because normally I separate like darks and lights, but I always call them blacks and whites. It's just for convenience. Well, I guess it's the same number of syllables. I don't even know if it's convenience. Anyway, yeah, so I was doing my second load of laundry and then I was drying my first load. When that was done, I came back and I started packing my dried clothes because that's what you do when you're done, you know? And really awkward, The girl walks it. The girl with the original wet clothes load, whose wet clothes were still freaking on top. Yeah, both her wet and dry clothes were still on top. This was at least 2 hours later by now. I was like, girl. But I felt really awkward because like she saw me doing laundry, she saw the wet clothes on top, like obviously I was the one who put the wet clothes on top. She probably felt bad about it. I felt a little bad about it, but I also felt justified because you left your laundry here for over 2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah, she just kind of backed out. I said like kind of sorry and she was just like, oh, that's fine, I'll come back when you're done. But like the thing was like her wet laundry still needed to be dried. We have one dryer, but I had my second load of laundry going and it was also about to be done. That also needed to be dried. So I was like, I think I'm gonna just dry my clothes because I don't know how many more hours I'll have to wait if she does them. I hope I never see her again. That was really strange. So that was pet peeve number 1. People should just be responsible. Don't be annoying. Please be good humans. So moving on to pet peeve number 2. When I normally go about my day, I always keep my phone on silent because, I don't know, just all the noise pollution, the ringing, whatever, it really annoys me. Like I only keep that on for calls like FaceTime. I do like really short vibrations for text, but other than that, no, nothing. I don't want to hear anything from my phone. So whenever my boyfriend stays over, a lot of the times he just doesn't turn off his phone, like he doesn't turn it to do not disturb mode or anything. I slept in a loft bed, so like on the top bunk, and I had like a little pouch cubby thing at the foot of the bed where I would normally put my phone and he would also put his. Whenever people texted him or messaged him or whatever, he'd get like the vibration notification. Every time that I'd like be like, oh, did you turn off your phone sound? Like, did you turn off your vibrate? Did you turn it to like silent or do not disturb? And he's like, no, but no one's gonna like message me right now. It's like 12 a.m. or whatever, 2 a.m. Like who's gonna bother doing that? And then, so the thing is, he used to work as like a security monitor person in the dorms, which was a job for like late at night to check in people and stuff. So he'd always get work texts. Yeah, so like oftentimes I'd ask him that, he'd be like, no one's gonna text me. And then 2 minutes later, I'm like, I don't know. That was a mild annoyance. It wasn't like a one-time occurrence. It happened multiple times where I'd be like, please turn it off, and he'd just be too tired to get up and reach to the foot of the bed and take his phone out. He's also a much better sleeper. Like, he finds it very easy to fall asleep, and I am like pure opposite. I had a bad case of insomnia for a lot of my life, probably. But yeah. So third pet peeve is people's walking speeds and when they're different from yours. I think I am a fairly fast walker. I wouldn't say I'm like the fastest person ever normally, but I don't like slow walking. It just feels weird to me. Like I don't like standing still. I don't like feeling slow. I think I just like feeling productive, and so when I walk fast, it's like I need to get places, you know, I gotta rush to class. So I walk at a pretty fast pace, but my boyfriend walks at an even faster pace normally. And like after I eat food, like whenever we eat out or whatever, I have to walk slower than usual. And then he always makes fun of me because apparently I waddle around a little bit. Yeah, it's a struggle. And then I feel cramps coming on. I'm like, wait, I need a break. Yeah, well, he probably finds that more annoying than I do. But you know, like when people in front of you like are walking in a big group with their friends, but they're walking really slow and taking up all of the sidewalk, and you're just like tailgating behind them, trying to figure out the best way to pass them. Like, do I go onto the street? Are there any cars there? Like, can I squeeze through a gap in between these two specific people who are awkwardly far apart because they're not gay? Yeah, I'm probably not gonna put that in there. I think I used to have more of a problem with that when my entire friend group walked really slowly, and like we were that friend group that walked really slow in front of people, and I would kind of feel bad for people behind us and want to walk faster. So, okay, pet peeve number 4. This one is about borrowing things and then not leaving them as you got them. In my house back in Berkeley, I have these 2 pans that I use. They're fairly new, I got them a few years ago, and I've always been really careful about preserving the non-stick because I don't want that stuff to come off and get into our food and ruin the pan because pans are expensive, you know? So I'd always use a wooden spatula and try not to use like metal spoons or anything so it doesn't scratch the non-stick coating. Or I try to use a wooden spatula or silicone utensil things. I don't know why I'm doing this. And the way our kitchen works is that everything is mostly like individual. Like we have our own space, we get our own and use our own tools for the most part. But like a while back when this person moved into the house, because I was already living there, she asked if she could borrow some of my pans and pots and whatever to use for cooking, and I was like, yeah, sure, because like I get it, they're expensive if there was already something there. Like, yeah, I don't mind, you know? Like, okay, it was whatever. And then I go home for winter break, and when I come back, I wanted to cook something because I need food, I need sustenance, I need to live. I took out my pans because I normally saute something or fry something real quick, and there were scratches all over them, and I was like, I can't tell if like, were they always like this? Am I just misremembering because I just came back from winter break and it's been a while since I've seen these pans? But like upon closer inspection, I was like, these are definitely big scratches that were not left by a wooden utensil. These are big scratches, and both pans were really, really oily, which I don't think would happen if they just stay in storage for a while, and I was like, why are they so gross and weird now? I never confronted her about it, but like, I don't know who else would have used my pans. I guess it's kind of a petty way of putting that story out there. I'm still a little sad about the pans, man. I was taking so good care of them in my lazy way of just using a wooden spatula. This is fine. And my 5th and last pet peeve for the day is the one that led me to make this video today, actually, and it is chewing with your mouth open. Specifically, it's my mom chewing with her mouth open. She has like zero awareness of it at all, or maybe she just doesn't care. Like, I feel like people, like, the older they get, the less they give a shit about what everyone else thinks about them. And I don't know if it's like that effect happening on my mom, or if it's just a habit that like she just never really saw as an issue and isn't aware that it's annoying as a frick. If you were chewing with your mouth open and it wasn't that noisy and you were doing your best to stay quiet, like, I respect that. Like, that's whatever. But like, she like does the whole kind of thing. I can't do it with no food in my mouth, but like, you know what I mean. So annoying. And she like talks with her mouth wide open. I don't know, I just feel like it sounds really gross, it looks really gross, and this just reminds me of like the people who are like, oh, girls should only eat salad and pick at their food kind of thing. I don't think it's like that. I think it's just like a lot of things with my mom, they irk me more than they would if it was other people I know, because she's my mom and like she always gets on my nerves all the time. So growing up, because she's such a loud chewer with an open mouth, I'd like to think that I've been careful about that. I like tend to chew with my mouth closed. I don't like talking before I'm done swallowing or whatever, but sometimes I do if there's something that seems urgent and I like just put a bite in my mouth. I'm not gonna like wait 10 seconds until I answer someone's question or something. I just never want to unknowingly give other people those kinds of vibes in any way, not just in the chewing way when I'm eating. Thank you for watching this video. I have a lot of exciting videos in the works that will be coming out soon, so hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment something, maybe some of your pet peeves that you found, or if you related to any of these ones. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fabulous day and week.